This conference will now be recorded.
So observe this. Let's say SAP has provided a schema. A schema is a set of functions. Okay, arranged in this order. So here, this is a copy function, and this is also copy function. Okay, copy functions. Let's say this one u001. This one is u002. u002. So what is u001? It has its own function.
Subschema.
Okay, subschema, and it has its own functions: FA, FB, FC, FT, FE, like this. Here it is again a copy function. Okay, then it is another subschema. Another subschema. So what is u002? It's again a subschema, and it has the functions F30, like this. This is u003. Okay, what is u002? It is again a subschema. It has its own functions. F40. So this is one subschema. This is another subschema. This is another subschema. This is the main schema. Now tell me the order in which the functions are executed. If I use u000, in which order the functions are executed?
Sir, first u001 subschema will be executed. And next, in that u001, there is one more subschema, that is u003. Hello?
Yeah, I'm asking functions. Tell me the order of the functions.
First,
So
one, two,
first
F3, sir.
F1, F2, F3 will be executed, sir. Then copy function, copy u001 will be executed. In u001, FA, FB, FC will be executed. Then again, copy u002 will be executed. And
This one 3.
that is 3, sir. Yeah.
Hmm.
And after that, whatever be the functions are there, that will be executed. Again, it will come back to FE, sir. FE, FF, FG. Then again, it will go to the F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, and then come again, copy u002, and whatever be the functions are there in u002, that all will be executed. Then rest of all will be executed.
So this function, why we need a subschemas here? I can keep one schema. I can keep one schema, and the schema I can create like this with these functions. Why do we need a subschemas here?
Sir,
Sir, there are
because
several
the
conditions there. The sub schemas are executed based on some business conditions for a country group. So
sir, in
What is
schema
the
you
difference?
can insert 19 functions at a time.
Yeah. So it is, the main purpose is reusability. The reusable function. Suppose if I have to execute this set of functions in multiple schemas or within the same schema multiple places, I can keep all these functions in one subschema, and wherever it is required I can use it in multiple places. Reusability is the main reason why subschemas are used. Okay, creating this way and creating this way doesn't make any difference for one customer. Okay, but if I have to use this function multiple places in multiple schemas, the same set of functions, instead of maintaining 7 lines, keep all 7 functions in one subschema, use it wherever you want and whichever is the country you want. For example, see, if you go to the US schema, if you go to u001, there is a schema here, tc00. There is a schema tc00. The same, how many lines? 36 lines of functions. I want to maintain it 3 times in 3 different locations. What is the best way? You put it in one schema and maintain it again and again here also. Look at the same subschema. If the subschema is not used, I have to keep all these functions, 36 functions, again and again in 72 lines. Am I right? And this is not only used USA, it is also used in India. If you go to, you see, in many countries it's been used, TC00, TC00. Again, this XT00 used in many countries. Okay, if you go to where used list, you will see, show me the subschema XT00 is used in what all the other country schemas. You can see them. Okay, show me TC00 is used in how many other schemas. These many main schemas, TC00 is used. Yeah, reusability is the main reason. Otherwise, if you create functions in this way, if you keep the directly, without subschemas, all the functions in this order, then that also works. Okay, but we don't do this. We keep the schemas as it is. Okay, now I want to insert a function F50. I want to insert a function F50. Where do I insert it? Where is the right place is important. That is what we are going to discuss today. That is what we are mainly focusing on. Where do I need to insert it? Where do I need to insert?
sir,
Anyone?
in U002 schema,
Huh?
sir, U002 because F45 is there. So it must be after F45. Yes.
So it
Tell me, how
depends
did
on the
you
type
decide?
of calculations.
Tell me, how did you decide? Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, sir. చెప్పు.
Sir, sorry to disturb you this morning. అది ఏమన్నా మన దగ్గర ఎస్యూ ట్రైనర్ ఏమన్నా ఉన్నారా?
Azure, నేను చెక్ చేస్తా. See, every function, as I said, this is very important. Let's say this is a function 1, this is a function 2, this is a function 3, this is a function 4, this is a function 5. See, this is very important for the schema design. Okay, listen to this carefully. Every function takes some input. Okay, every function takes some input. And then it performs a calculation on the data. And then after performing a calculation, it generates an output. Generates an output. This happens with every function. This happens with every function. Sorry. Every function takes some input and generates an output. Now, this F2 takes an input. The F2 takes an input, which is the output of F1. Okay, input data, output data. This F2 for the F2, this is going to be the input. Okay. Now, tell me, can we place F2 before F1?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Okay.
No,
So
sir.
similarly, it performs a calculation. It performs a calculation. Okay, it performs a calculation and it generates an output. And it generates an output. This output is used by the function F5. Okay, F3 may not use the output of F1 and F2. It may be independent input. It might take the data from the info tab directly, not from the previous table. F4 also same. Okay, it takes the data from the config table, it does something else. But F5 takes the input from the output of F2. Can F5 be before F2 and F1? Can we place F5 before F2 and F1?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can we place F2 after F5?
No, sir.
No.
So what should be the position of F2? What should be the position of F2?
After
It is
F1,
between
sir.
F1 and F5.
F1 and before F5.
After F1, before F5.
Before F5.
Okay. So that means to decide the right place for a function, what we need to study is what input does it take? What input does it take? And what output does it produce? Does it produce? And where is the data used? This output used by which function? Okay, which other function? These two things will decide the position of a function. So without having a clear knowledge on the function, you cannot work in the schema design. You must have a complete knowledge on what input does it take, and what is the dependent data of this function. Where is the data available for the function? Exactly which part of the schema the data is available for the function. Okay, and current function output is used by which other function? You must know this. Without that, don't ever blindly choose the position for the function in the schema. Okay, and it will give a weird results when you run the payroll, and it doesn't happen for one employee, it happens for all employees. Payroll is such a sensitive. If you write a simple formula incorrectly, and if your company has a 10,000 employees, all 10,000 employees salary is incorrect, and it affects company reputation. All these employees talk about this company. Okay, payroll is not calculating correctly. See, there is one company I've seen. Okay, because of one small mistake in the PCR, has cost 6 crores salary paid extra. One company having a 7,000 employees, 7,500 employees, they paid 6 crores of rupees extra. Even their admin team did not check this, and then they realized it. We paid extra. They started recovering it from their employees in the next month. Okay, they communicated the employees and they recovered. But if it is MNC, okay, so it affects complete reputation, right? All these employees talk about the company with others, outsiders. So payroll is very, very sensitive. We need to be very careful. Don't blindly change anything unless you have a clear knowledge on that function, on that schema. Deactivating a function, deleting a functions, don't do that nonsense in the schema, because SAP has already given this schema 30 years back, and it's been upgraded continuously and used by hundreds of customers, and it is well proven schema. The payroll schema is. So it is not your choice to keep and change the order of the subschemas and functions. It is very well used by hundreds of customers, and SAP kept on correcting the issues of issues raised by the customers. So the schema is continuously upgraded to the up to date. Okay, so we need to be very careful when you are working on it. So what we work on in the schema, it's only when the customer requirements are deviated from the standard SAP templates. Okay, when the customer requirements are different from what is given by SAP, okay, you change only that part with high care. Okay, so that's why the companies are looking for payroll consultants, because if I teach 100 members, I would say only 30% of the people, 32 or 20 to 30% of the people only will continue in the payroll out of 100. The rest all, they work in OM, they work in other modules, but in payroll only 20%, I can say. Okay, so this is where the most complexity is. These initial 15-day session, if you miss, if you don't practice, you cannot become a payroll consultant. The next 15-day sessions. Definitely no two companies have the same requirements. You will definitely have a client requirements deviated from the SAP standard solutions. So then you will have to customize them. Okay, you can't customize the things based on your assumptions. Okay, you need to study the business requirement of the client first, and they incorporate the same thing in SA standard schema, and you test it from all the dimensions, all possible cases. Your customer may not tell you what cases need to be tested, but you are the one who can test it. Okay, suppose if customer says this grade and this level employee 10,000 salary per month, so you hire him, you maintain this grade and you maintain this level, 10,000 is coming, correct? Testing is not completed. You are doing a direct testing, that is not enough. Indirect testing. What if employee takes unpaid leave 5 days? What if employee takes a full month unpaid leave? What if employee joins in the mid-month? What if employee is terminated in the mid-month? What if employee salary is increased in the mid-month? How do you calculate the gross salary? All these cases need to be tested. Your customer may not remember all this, but you are the one who needs to guide the customer to test all the scenarios. And before customer tests those scenarios and find out an issue, you need to test it first. That's called unit testing. Okay, so the unit testing should be done thoroughly. Okay, particularly in payroll, if the user is testing this payroll scenarios and if he is finding a lot of issues, he will be scared to use this product for their employees, because the management again will come and question that guy only, payroll admin only. Why is this error? So many errors. Why you have not tested properly during the UAT? They'll question them. So if he is facing a lot of issues during the UAT, then he will take it up to the management saying this SAP payroll is not doing good and it is not even working smaller things also. It is unable to handle simple calculations also. We cannot rely on this product. So he need to be safe side. Okay, so he will take it up to the management. So remember this, if you get into that situation, your payroll will not go live. So payroll should be should be customized with a high care and without a testing. For every scenario, at least 5 dimensions you need to test. Without testing that 5 dimensions of every case, never move anything to the quality. If you move it, it's going to be escalation. Okay, so payroll is mandatory. All other things can be not a big issue, not high priority things, but payroll is not like that. If you write one simple mistake, all employees payroll will be incorrect. Okay, so now let's say I want to insert F50. It requires input from F32 and the output of F50 is used by F43. The output of F50 is used by F43 and F50 takes input of F32. So where is the place? Where is the right place of F50?
After F32.
After F32?
After F32 and before F40.
So where do you insert it? Tell me. After F32, before F43, where do you insert? In which schema do you want to insert?
u002, sir. Before F43.
Okay. Anyone else?
F50.
We'll derive another subschema, sir.
The position for F50 anywhere here. Anywhere here. Okay. And then anywhere here. It works in any of these places. Yes or no? It can be inserted here or here or here or anywhere here. I decided to insert here in U003. Okay, after F33, I want to insert it. Okay, how do I do it? What should I do?
Insert I, sir, for inserting and
So can
enter.
I go to U003 and insert it?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
Sir, in U003, in that function, you have to type I so that it will insert another line.
Wrong. Anyone else? This is a standard schema. You have to copy this to the custom schema. Yes or no? Do you change it directly?
Standard we don't.
No, sir.
I copy this to this. Then insert a line here. Then I insert it here. What is the next step after this? What is the next step after this? Anyone?
Need to incorporate that customer schema in main schema, sir.
In main schema U000?
No, sir. We have to
Not
make
in
a
U2,
custom schema
no,
for
sir.
that also.
U001 sub schema, sir.
This one
U010.
deactivate this line. Okay, deactivate that line. And then insert copy function ZU03. What is the next step? This is ZU01. Copy this to ZU01. Copy use U001 U001 to ZU01. In that, because I'm changing it, and deactivate original one and keep customized one. What is the next step?
In main schema, we have to deactivate U001 and insert one more line for ZU01.
Wrong. Anyone else? Anyone
You need
else?
to copy U002.
Yes. You need to copy U000 to some name ZU and deactivate this line. Okay, and deactivate this line and then copy
ZU01.
ZU01. If you are changing the lowest subschema, that means you are copying this schema to custom one. You have to copy the all above subschemas and including the main schema. That's why directly I copied U000 to Z1 US, if you remember. Anyway, we are going to customize the subschemas. So I cannot customize directly this one. What did I do? I copied this to Z1 US, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
how do I customize the same thing without changing the subschemas by changing only the main schema? Anyone? How do I customize without changing the subschemas without by changing the main schema, the same thing? I don't want to change the subschemas, this one and this one.
In main schema, we can insert that F52, sir. F50, sir.
That's it. Just copy this. Here somewhere in this position, insert F52. Why do you need to copy this? You're not changing anything in this. You're not changing anything in this. You are changing only main schema, and I'm inserting F50 somewhere around here. Yeah. Okay, so that's what about the functions. Okay, so you copy, all of you copied your schema, I mean company, the country specific schema to custom schema, all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And some of you guys are getting an error while running the payroll, and I've seen the screenshots. I'm looking at the screenshots. As I said, 207 is mandatory info tab. Without that, we cannot run payroll. When you create it, it will show only New York. Why not California? Why not Alaska? Why not something else? It's because this employee belongs to which residence? If you go to address info tab, New York location, this zip code drives the drop down of 207, or it will show the prompt or a hint, you can say. While creating the residence tax area, it will show this list. This employee belongs to which tax area, where he is residing, where he is residing. Select that one. This is the first step. So this area determines the authorities which collect the taxes from the employee. Okay, see, if you are in a state of Telangana, your professional tax is collected by Telangana, right? If you are in Karnataka, your professional tax is collected by Karnataka. Similarly, when you are living in one area, there are authorities in that area collect the taxes from your income. So this guy has to pay the taxes to the New York City Authority, New York State Authority, and the Central Authority. That's what it is. This is a, don't miss this step. Okay, next one. The next mandatory info tab for USA is 210. Okay, the next mandatory info tab is 210. So go to hello, చెప్పా క్లాస్లో నేను తర్వాత చేస్తాను పని. So federal is the one that you need to create, because it's a mandatory to create this info tab for a federal authority, guys. because the tax slabs are determined by employee marital status, whether he is a single or a married. So we should tell it. The federal income tax calculation slabs, tax slabs are determined by marital status of employee. So we need to tell. So these info tabs you will understand once we start discussing the US specific payroll info tabs. US specific payroll info tabs. Okay. So you don't get that error. Some people have sent this error, and also make sure your schema that is copied from u000 in this US tax calculation schema is blocked only in a demo personal systems, not real time. In real time it has to be active, but here while you are practicing everything, you deactivate these taxes, so that will not give any error. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's all for today. Okay, catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow onwards we will start working on the schema.
Have a nice day, sir.